Drishti IAS is pleased to revise its program specially targeting GS Paper 4, which deals with ethics, integrity and aptitude. In this episode of the program, Ethics, Definitions and Concepts, we will discuss foundational values of civil services, types, meaning and the application in governance. So what is value? Values are the minimum set of standards on which we evaluate things. They determine what is wrong and what is right. Values can be goal-oriented, that is, achievement of social, political and economic justice, and means-oriented, that is, integrity, empathy, discipline, neutrality and impartiality. Since civil servants have discretionary powers, the values give them certain moral guidance to prevent abuse of power. Now, shifting towards the foundational values of civil services. Civil public service values are the standards which are created and sustained by the government on behalf of the public. These are the principles on which government and its policies should be based upon. According to the Second Administrative Reforms Commission, the foundational values of the civil service are integrity, objectivity, dedication to public service, empathy, impartiality and non-partisanship, and compassion and tolerance towards the weaker section. Let's focus on integrity first. Integrity means adopting similar standards or moral principles in similar situations. It differs from other foundational values of civil services as it means to be honest and consistent in thoughts, speech, and action. Integrity eliminates the gap between what we think, what we say, and what we do. It means doing the right thing even when nobody is watching. The integrity is of the following types: intellectual integrity, evaluating everyone with the same parameters; professional integrity, enforced by the professional bodies; organizational integrity, belief of the organization. Integrity can be inculcated through training, institutional structure, and by setting up a code of ethics that all members shall follow. Integrity requires self-sacrifice. It is a concept that rises above individualism and hedonism and supports unconditional public duty towards the people at large. A civil servant is not expected only to obey the laws and behaves within the confines of rules, but he or she should also strive for a moral government. Absolute integrity for civil servants is also recommended in the Civil Service Conduct Rules. Shifting focus towards objectivity. Objectivity means decision-making on the basis of prescribed rules and policy, and not on emotions, personal relations, whims and fancies. In other words, it means giving equal treatment to people in equal situations, irrespective of any other factors like race, caste, religion, etc. Objectivity differs from other foundational values of civil services as it allows civil servants to take decisions on the merits of the case and take due account of expert advice. Objectivity can be inculcated by training, reviewing decisions, transparency mechanisms, information management systems for collection of data, and statistics for making decisions. Let's discuss compassion and empathy. Compassion is the feeling of care and warmth towards a person in suffering. It is a form of sympathy but stronger and so a better predictor of actions. Empathy is a stronger predictor of behavior, as when one feels empathetic towards others, she or he can feel their emotions. Empathy is the capability to understand the feelings and concerns of other people in society. Empathy provides necessary impetus to the civil servants for action towards betterment of the society. In other words, empathy falls with social and emotional competencies of a person. It can be for anyone, but compassion is directed towards the poor. Example: the colonial era saw very intelligent officers entering the civil service, but they lacked the empathy towards India. They focused only on maintaining the British rule over India. Bureaucracy must be taught to empathize with the common man, and this shall trigger his altruistic behavior. However, to make him feel empathy, his emotional intelligence should be developed first. What is the role of tolerance in civil services? For a diverse country like India, which values its principle of unity in diversity, tolerance in civil services plays a role of utmost importance. Tolerance is needed at each level, from policy thinking and formulation to the policy implementation. In the era of globalization, where different cultures, races, and religions work together, establishing tolerance and harmony has become very crucial. Shifting focus towards neutrality and non-partisanship. Non-partisanship ensures a neutral approach in politics and a commitment to the government. A non-partisan civil service is also responsible to the constitution of the land to which they have taken an oath of loyalty. Non-partisanship infers that the officer has to do his task without any fear or favor to any particular political party. It strengthens the democratic procedures and institutions along with maintaining the integrity of the service. For example, mainstream news media is viewed as autonomous and independent media in the society. Any effort by an administrator to vitiate his autonomy in favor of any political party would be antithesis to his democratic fabric of the country. Looking at impartiality. Impartiality means persons should act without bias of client nature. Impartiality implies tolerance and restraint, particularly in dealing with political or religious convictions. It differs from other foundational values of civil services by ensuring equality without any bias and prejudices in the general. Impartiality denotes that all the responsibilities of a person are carried out in a fair and just manner. An example of impartiality is the nature of a judge in a court case or the nature of a referee in a cricket match. To sum up, these foundational values provide lawfulness to the behavior of an administrator and make it more effective. Hence, the civil servants have to abide by a common set of values which caters to larger interests of society at large and to achieve social, political, and economic justice. Civil servants have to set out the highest standards of integrity and morality. At the end, looking at few previous year's questions. In 2020, the following questions were asked. Hatred is destructive of a person's wisdom and conscience that can poison a nation's spirit. Do you agree with this view? Justify your answer. What are the main components of emotional intelligence? Can they be learned? Discuss. Distinguish between laws and rules. Discuss the role of ethics in formulating them. A positive attitude is considered to be an essential characteristic of a civil servant who is often required to function under extreme stress. What contributes to a positive attitude in a person? In 2019, the following questions were asked. Effective utilization of public funds is crucial to meet development goals. Critically examine the reasons for underutilization and misutilization of public funds and their implications. Non-performance of duty by a public servant is a form of corruption. Do you agree with this view? Justify your answer. In 2018, the following questions were asked. State the three basic values universal in nature in the context of civil services and bring out their importance. Distinguish between code of ethics and code of conduct with suitable examples. In doing a good thing, everything is permitted which is not prohibited, expressly or by clear implication. Examine the statement with suitable examples in the context of a public servant discharging his or her duties. With regard to morality of actions, one view is that means are of paramount importance, and the other view is that the ends justify the means. Which view do you think is more appropriate? Justify your answer. In 2017, the following questions were asked. Examine the relevance of the following in the context of civil service: transparency, accountability, fairness and justice, courage of conviction, spirit of service. One of the tests of integrity is complete refusal to be compromised. Explain with reference to a real-life example. In 2016, the following question was asked. Why should impartiality and non-partisanship be considered as foundational values in public services, especially in the present-day socio-political context? Illustrate your answer with examples. In 2015, the following question was asked. How do the virtues of trustworthiness and fortitude get manifested in public service? Explain with examples. With this, we conclude today's episode of Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude. Until next time, stay safe and thank you. To watch our videos in Hindi, subscribe to our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS.